Hey, you guys, if you live in the Wisconsin Assembly District 55, I'm talking about Fox Crossing, Winchester, and down south. If you live in that portion of the state of Wisconsin, I have very important information for you, especially if you support the Constitution, if you support the Second Amendment. And I'm going to jump into this right now, guys. I'm Ben Dorr, the director of the Wisconsin Firearms Coalition, and you have a very important Assembly District race happening in AD 55, all right? And I'm gonna break down where the candidates stand so you have all the information you need when you go to the polls on November 5th, or if you do early voting. Either one is fine with me. All right, I'm gonna kick this right off, all right? First, we're gonna talk about current state representative Nate Gustafson. I am very pleased to tell you right out of the gate that Nate has filled out his Wisconsin Firearms Coalition candidate questionnaire 100% pro-gun. Now, you might think, well, a lot of people probably fill that out, a lot of big promises. That's right. The difference is Nate's already been up there and already has a 100% pro-gun voting record. In fact, nobody in the entire state of Wisconsin, in the entire state assembly, fights harder for the Second Amendment than Nate Gustafson has done in his time at the Capitol. He's an absolute yes on pro-gun laws like constitutional carry, stand your ground law, the Second Amendment Preservation Act, all of these common sense, pro-constitution, pro-freedom, public safety bills. Nate Gustafson is an absolute yes on all of them and wants to continue that fight if he goes back to the Capitol. And of course, he's a hard no on gun registration, right? They want to pass universal background checks is what the radical left is trying to push, some rhinos as well, but always Tony Evers, Josh Kaul. It's a never-ending onslaught for universal background checks, for red flag gun confiscation laws. They want to reinstate the waiting period to buy firearms in Wisconsin. And they want to pass mandated firearms storage laws. They want to make it so your guns are locked in a safe that they approve of all the time. Nate Gustafson is 100% opposed to all of that. He knows it's insane and is a no vote. So if you happen to see Nate Gustafson out on the campaign trail, thank him for being 100% pro-gun. And because of his stance on the Second Amendment, because of his survey, he has absolutely earned himself an A rating with the Wisconsin Firearms Coalition. All right, we're going to move on, moving along swiftly, as they say. Now we're going to talk about Kyle Kehoe. Kyle is the Democrat running to unseat Nate Gustafson. The first thing you should know about Kyle is that he refused to fill out his Wisconsin Firearms Coalition candidate questionnaire. But we're not surprised by that. Many people who intend to go and attack the Second Amendment surely don't want to fill out a survey saying, hey, gun owners, I'm going to go up there and attack your Second Amendment rights. So he didn't fill it out. But of course, we know why as well, because he's Bloomberg endorsed. As you can see, he is endorsed by Michael Bloomberg's Moms Demand Action. This is the gun control group that kills the Constitution, hates the public, despises public safety, and is always simply pushing a narrative of control on the people. Kyle Kehoe is endorsed by them. No freaking surprise. That's because Kyle supports red flag laws like we were just talking about. He wants to make it so that virtually anybody at any time can call you in and say, hey, so-and-so's dangerous. They're going to vote for Trump, or they got a bunch of guns. I know they do. I saw them carrying them out, going to the shooting range the other day. And for virtually no reason whatsoever, you can get red flagged and government agents show up to take your guns. It's happening in states all across the country. They're trying to get it passed in Wisconsin, and Kyle Kehoe wants to be a vote in favor of that gun control. He supports gun registration, especially through the background check system. They want to make it so every single firearms transfer. If you want to give a firearm to your wife for self-defense, if you want to sell your old shotgun to your best friend, if you have a kid who is coming of age and you want to give them a .22 rifle, like I'm doing with my oldest son. He wants to make it so you have to run a background check on your friends, your family, your own children in order to do that. We think that's absolutely insane. Criminals aren't going to follow this law, but it's what Kyle Kehoe wants. And that's why Kyle, we're convinced, is an absolute enemy of the Second Amendment. And if he makes it to the Capitol, will become one of Tony Evers' lead guys inside pushing this gun control. And that is why Kyle gets a big, fat F rating from the Wisconsin Firearms Coalition. He's a radical leftist who wants to totally torch the fundamental foundational principles that are Wisconsin. He wants to do away with our traditions. He wants to do away with these freedoms and join states like Minnesota and Michigan, which are always torching the Second Amendment over the last couple of years. So guys, that's the information we have. All I ask is that you take your friends, your family, your neighbors, everybody you know who cares about the Constitution, cares about freedom, bring them to the polls on November 5th, or do early voting. Cut the line. Get in there, vote pro-gun, vote in favor of the Constitution, and let's save Wisconsin.